Knox County Mayor Glenn Jacobs is in Saudi Arabia tonight after wrestling in a WWE event. Jacobs, known to wrestling fans as Kane, joined The Undertaker in a tag team matchup against a group called DX. Kane and The Undertaker lost. This comes at the time of a controversy over the killing of an American journalist there. He's a Saudi, but also wrote for the Washington Post. Other prominent WWE wrestlers pulled out of that event. The appearance by Jacobs was part of an agreement with WWE in exchange for a $100,000 donation to the Knoxville Public Safety Foundation.
It is homecoming for